Hey guys, this is Ken for 15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another Dragon Ball Super manga chapter review for you guys. And we're here to discuss the most recent chapter that released Tuesday, and that was chapter 74 titled Granola versus Vegeta. Obviously, this chapter was big because of the leaks that came out before this chapter. And yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Obviously, you're probably wondering, why am I reviewing this chapter now when I could have had it done a few days ago? The reasoning behind that is I actually was out of town because I went on vacation. I was actually out in Las Vegas, when the chapter, came out. So I just read it in my hotel room, and because I didn't have my laptop, which I record off of, um, I couldn't do a review. And two, it kind of gave me some rest. So other than that, that's kind of it. So yeah. Anyways, let's get to it. So this is chapter 74 of Dragon Ball Super. I thought it was a pretty good chapter, and stuff like that. But yeah, my thoughts on the chapter is like it was pretty good, but I don't think it's like as good as what people are trying to make it seem like. It's like, oh, it's Vegeta just having a fight with Granola, your typical Dragon Ball Super fight. Like, it's just some really dialogue words that people like about the chapter, and then obviously the transformation at the end. Which, hey, I figured they need to find some way to have Vegeta be, I guess, not on the level as Goku, but I'm guessing have a power similar to Ultra Instinct, which we're just waiting for it to happen because it was like, well, I figured much that they'd give Vegeta a new form, but anyways, let's go. So the chapter starts off with the Shigarians essentially leaving their individual cities because, well, there's explosions going on and stuff like that, and they're like, we need to freaking get out of here until the explosions and tremors died down. Now, Vegeta goes on to tell Granola that his clones or his fusions or whatever won't work on him and stuff like that. And essentially, Granola's like, yeah, I'm not going to use that. I'm saving my strength so I can be able to defeat Frieza, or your boss Frieza. And Vegeta kind of like, dude, we don't even work for him. Like, I'm telling you, I don't work for him. My friend don't work for him. I want to kill Frieza as much as the next guy. He's one of our enemies and everything. But Granola kind of laughs it off like, oh, motherfucker, you just lying through your skin on teeth. And even freaking, what is it? Oatmeal, his little calm guy is like, maybe these Saiyans are telling the truth, because they've both told you that, well, guess what? That they're, enemies of Frieza's. And obviously Granola's like, man, please. They're just lying through their sticks, through their teeth, so they can try to escape and get out of here, and get out of here with the benefit of the doubt and stuff like that. So we're clearly seeing that Granola, clearly, I guess you can say, like, he doesn't really even care of what it is. Which, man, listen. I'm like, Granola, you can't just calm down and take a chill pill for 2 seconds and just listen to these guys. But he's too busy trying to avenge his race that, well, guess what? I'm not gonna even bother listening to you and stuff like that. Now Vegeta says, listen, you can think what you want, but know that when I was a child, that's when the Saiyans essentially invaded your planet. So we find out that the reason why Vegeta now knows is, well, he was a child when the Saiyans invaded the planet and stuff like that. And Vegeta, he even tries to tell Granola, look, we had nothing to do with that, or that had nothing to do with me and my friend, me and Goku. And Granola's like, I don't care. You're still dying because you're still Saiyans and stuff like that. So Vegeta's like, okay, well, fine. I guess we're just gonna go fight then. So Vegeta transforms into a Super Saiyan Blue, and essentially he's kind of still antagonizing Granola, saying like, well, prepare to die and prepare for your race to be eradicated for all the time, stuff like that. So Vegeta does some attacks and stuff like that. Like one attack, it's like putting his hands on the ground and just essentially making small dust explosions with rocks. But Granola easily just takes the hit like it's nothing or dodges it. And essentially it's like, oh, your destructive power is lacking. So you make up with some quantity. And then essentially he kind of does what Vegeta did, just on a much bigger scale. He gives some shots to Vegeta. And essentially this fight in this chapter is really Vegeta's really getting his butt kicked the entire, fight. Like, he's getting his butt handed to him. So that's the thing. And Vegeta tries to dish out some attacks, but Granola's just easily blocking it or dodging it or getting out of the way and stuff like that. I do like just some of the fight sceneries and stuff like that. Like, they take it from the air to like this forest area to the water to this river lake and stuff like that. And like I said, throughout the chapter, as I'm skimming through the chapter, you just see Vegeta just kind of get owned and stuff like that. Like, Granola's just easily having his way. One of the coolest things was when Vegeta went down this waterfall. Granola gets into a pose like he's about to, fire a legit, crossbow arrow. And it just and the way the energy looks like it's like he's actually firing an arrow, which I thought was a pretty cool looking technique, I'm not gonna lie, and stuff like that. And Oatmeal in some cases also helps him with his aim assist in terms of firing. Vegeta tries to block that attack fire, but Vegeta just falls back onto a beach and everything. And that's when Granola is like, these Saiyans are stronger than I expected, which was shocking. And then, obviously, the whole thing about this kind of chapter is the fact that Vegeta, throughout his antagonizing, is telling Granola, which Monaito told Granola, the fact that, well, guess what? There's always going to be somebody stronger another day than, say, the last day. And stuff like that. And that's what, and Vegeta's like, you sound pretty confident still and stuff like that. And Granola's like, well, why wouldn't I? I'm the strongest in the universe. I'm immensely powerful and stuff like that. And he's like, so why fight me? You're just walking into your gravesite. And that's when Vegeta kind of is like, yeah, at the moment you're probably the strongest, and your techniques surpass my own and everything, but I'm still going to win this fight regardless, and stuff like that. And Granola kind of brings up Vegeta's ego, saying like, oh, you sound very cocky for someone that's essentially getting their butt kicked and everything. And yeah, so they continue their fight. Goku wakes up. He feels a little pain after getting shot by Granola to end out his fight. He sees Granola and Vegeta start fighting, so he's just like, oh, Granola and Vegeta are fighting. Interesting. And stuff like that. So yeah, again, we cut back to the fight. Vegeta's still kind of getting his butt kicked and everything, and eventually it gets to the point where eventually Granola's firing off a blast and Vegeta's dodging it, and he dodges it, and it actually hits one of the old Cerulean run down cities. And essentially, Vegeta's like, you're so out of control of your power, you can't even stop a freaking Meeble blast from hitting your former city and stuff like that. And this kind of pisses off Granola. So another thing for Granola, or for Vegeta to get under Granola's skin by trying to destroy, like, I guess you can say, the old Cerulean town, and stuff like that. So yeah, now Vegeta makes a point in the chapter saying, I can tell that you only recently acquired this absurd strength. Like, and it was kind of a funny ploy. And Granola's like, how did you know? And Vegeta's like, well, you just told me, so yeah, and stuff like that. And essentially Vegeta tells Granola, like, yeah, you may be strong, but you're not used to using that power. You're also not the best in your battle combat in terms of experience. Essentially, Vegeta's saying like, well, guess what? You may be strong, but you don't know how to use that power, and you're not much of a martial artist, or you don't know how to fight, or you don't have enough battle experience against someone like me who's been in battle since I was a child. And essentially, he's like, what have you actually been doing after you got this absurd power? Like, have you actually trained using this power? And Vegeta or Granola's like, training? Why do I need training when I have the strongest power in the universe? And stuff like that. And that's when Vegeta, before he kind of gives a pretty vicious shot to Granola's leg, is the fact that he makes a mention, is like, yeah, you may be strong today, but that doesn't mean you'll be stronger tomorrow. And stuff like that. And that's kind of the thing that Vegeta, kind of says. And he kind of just says the reason why he loves fighting. He says, you see, the great in Granola essentially replies to comment saying, the power I've gained makes me the strongest. It's a given that I'll win here today. And Vegeta kind of replies that and saying like, well, that's the great thing about a battle. The outcome is never quite set in stone, which is, well, that's what I love about fighting and stuff like that. And Granola kind of gets pissed off by that comment, and he's like, what the hell, man? He's like, shut the hell up. You do know you killed all these people over time and stuff like that, so that's why you love to fight, because yada 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 and stuff like that. And again, this is when Vegeta again mentions the fact like, oh, here's another lesson. He's like, second strongest rankings are all well and good, but they only reflect a moment in time. Once that moment has passed, it's nothing but history. Take me for an instant. I'm already stronger than I was a few minutes ago. Essentially, obviously saying that Vegeta gets strong. Vegeta, as he's fighting, he learns his opponent and he's getting stronger with every growing second, which we know that it's essentially a trait of the Saiyans. But again, this chapter essentially refutes the point, and that's kind of the whole premise about this chapter, alongside the transformation Vegeta gets by the end, is the fact that, well, Granola may have this absurd amount of power and he may be the strongest in the universe, but guess what? That doesn't mean Goku and Vegeta can train for another day and then eventually surpass Granola. And then guess what? Granola's lo and behold left in the dust, and it's just nothing but really just something in the past. It's the same. It's the trend of Dragon Ball stories. We know, our Dragon Ball characters go up against these strong opponents. They more than likely lose. They come back, they train, they get stronger, and by the time the final battle comes, they overcome the opponent because they officially are now stronger than them and stuff like that. So yeah. And essentially Vegeta's like, well, because of this, I'm growing more stronger, which means, guess what? That means maybe I might actually catch you by surprise. And obviously Granola's like, well, I guess that means I'm just gonna take you out now. So then Granola does his fingers of doom and literally guts Vegeta in his chest, and it makes Vegeta spit out a lot of blood and everything and stuff like that. But we get a kind of pretty cool scene with Vegeta where he's just kind of just laughing, and he's like, oh god, it's this feeling, it's been ages since I had this much fun and everything. And this kind of throws off Granola's like, why would somebody who got impaled essentially like this? And stuff like that. And he's like, there's no planet to protect, no people to save. It's just me that is really only focused on battle. And he's like, that's my happy place. And he goes on to tell Granola just the thing to get a battle crazed Saiyan's blood pumping. This kind of throws Granola off, and we see Vegeta transform into his new god form. Now, Goku makes a mention of the fact that Vegeta's energy or his God Ki is different, and the fact that it feels like God Ki, but it's just not the same old God Ki they're accustomed to. And we see the way the aura looks with this new form of Vegeta, which again, I think a lot of people have said this in their reviews, that when this gets animated, it's probably going to be like a very great scene. It's going to be more impact. Dragon Ball, look, I don't mind reading the manga for Dragon Ball Super, but if I'm being honest, more people gravitate to the anime than reading just the still images of a manga in terms of Dragon Ball. But hey, it is what it is. But Granola tries to fire off some energy attacks, but they essentially are like no effect on the energy wave, and it's just the aura surrounding Vegeta, and it just utterly disintegrates. And this is when we see Vegeta, the transformation come out, and we see Vegeta in his new transformation. The chapter ends off saying he acquired the transformation because of God of Destruction Tommy, which we know was Beerus, and that the power derived solely from instinct is unbounded, and that's where the chapter ends off. The next chapter won't release until August 18th, 2021. Now, the features in Vegeta's new transformation is the fact that, well, he's got no eyebrows, so he's got the Super Saiyan 3 face looking thing. It's just he doesn't have the hair of a Super Saiyan 3. His hair looks kind of somewhat similar to his regular hair. It's just the back part of his hair kind of looks a little bit down. He looks a little bit, more bulked up. And he's got like these nice aura streaks around him. We don't know what the color of the form looks like. If it's a God of Destruction form, I'm guessing the aura is purple. And in the grand scheme of things, it would make sense that his hair would be, well, purple or maybe black with purple highlights at the tips of his hair. But personally, if you ask me to color it, I would just probably give him purple. His hair would probably be like the purple of a God of Destruction. Now we don't know the official name of this Super Saiyan form or this new transformation state for Vegeta. I don't know what you're gonna call it. The one thing I will say, the fact that Vegeta said at the end of the chapter, unbounded. So I'm guessing you can call this Super Saiyan God Unbounded, or you can call this Super Saiyan Unbound. So I guess the shortened term is gonna probably be SSJU. So unless it's called Super Saiyan, unless we cut over to Whis and Beers and they call it, oh, it seems like Vegeta's accessed the powers of a God of Destruction or something like that. So yeah, personally, if they call it Super Saiyan Unbound, I honestly like the name. I think it actually sounds pretty fucking cool. It sounds actually pretty badass. I feel like that's what they should call it for the time being. I think that's what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it Super Saiyan Unbound. It sounds dope. Although technically you can't really call Goku's form Super Saiyan Ultra Instinct, but whatever, it's Ultra Instinct. So clearly this state of being for Vegeta is clearly the opposite, opposed version to Goku's Ultra Instinct. The only catch here is, okay, Vegeta transformed in this new form. The question is, well, Vegeta can't lose with this new form. I'm sorry to say it. At the same time, you can't build up Granola to make him lose his first battle. Listen, I think this fight's going to end into a draw or maybe a potential interference, which protects the new Super Saiyan Unbound form Vegeta has. Because if Vegeta loses out of the gate, or if Vegeta uses this form but still loses, what was the waste of introducing this form then? It'll be completely pointless and we're back at square one. Now, we'll see what happens in the next chapter. I feel like an interference is probably going to happen in this battle, which is going to essentially get to where our Granola, eventually the power, or Granola maybe loses. And he's like, well, guess what? The power's just too much, and maybe he somehow finds a way, or a distraction occurs where he finds a way to get out of there and escape and stuff like that. And maybe he takes it to heart that maybe I need to train to get stronger. Maybe he does that power. But we kind of see slowly the change in Granola. He's starting to kind of get more obsessed about his power and everything. And yeah, so we'll see. I've always said that I feel like Monito's going to get involved somehow. And maybe Granola, is as a way to escape, is going to use Monito as a distraction. Maybe potentially kill him as a way of him essentially kind of snapping and going on berserk mode. Saying, you can't stop me, yada, yada, yada. Again, it'll be stupid of Vegeta and Goku just to let him go away like that, but we'll see. I've always said that Toriyama and Toritaru have wrote themselves into a fucking corner when it comes to Dragon Ball Super and stuff like that. Especially with the fact that we're still in the time zone limit of between the end of the Majin Buu saga and the end of Z, which I still hope for the next arc for Dragon Ball Super, we finally get past the end of Z, please and thank you. But regardless, I thought this chapter was a pretty solid chapter. I'm not trying to say I didn't like this chapter, but I don't think it's like the best chapter. I would say people overblowing it. And some people I've seen in the reviews say like, oh, this was their best. They thought this was the best chapter in this entire arc, which honestly, I feel like the build up to Granola's characters in those are the representative chapters, in my opinion, are better. I'm not trying to diss, any other people who have those thoughts. If you say you said this was your favorite chapter in this arc, hey, more power to you. But I'm just saying, like, if I freaking beat down a Vegeta with the ending of a transformation, essentially makes this the best chapter in the arc, and because just a few dialogue points, I'm like, I'm not trying to say you have a poor taste, but it's like, come on, like, it's just Vegeta getting smashed, saying, oh, I enjoy battle because of these reasons, and just because you're strong today doesn't mean you'll be strong tomorrow. And I'm like, it's kind of just generic Dragon Ball talk right then and there, but okay. People have their own opinions on what they like about this arc. Again, I told you for the most part, I kind of don't really care about this arc anyways to begin with, because especially the way how Granola got his power and then Goku can just tap into Ultra Instinct at utter will. So I guess Vegeta being able to transform into this God of Destruction form at will now makes me feel a bit better about Goku doing it, but regardless, still, I don't really care for much about this arc to begin with. You can go up on my past chapter reviews. Once Granola got his power, this arc was kind of dead to me. The arc was also kind of morally dead to me because Goku could just transform into Ultra Instinct at will now, master Ultra Instinct. But other than that, that's kind of it. So yeah, other than that, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's manga chapter or this month's manga chapter for Dragon Ball Super. Do you like it? Did you not like it? Was it your favorite chapter of the arc? Yada yada yada. Again, hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Dragon Ball Super content, as well as if you do, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell icon to make sure you're up to date with whatever I upload to the channel. I review My Hero Academia, Dragon Quest Adventure of Dai, Fairy Tail, yada yada yada, My Hero Academia, and stuff like that. Also, since this video is going up Friday, just to let you guys know, if you guys are subscribed to the channel and you're looking to check out any of my other videos, for Saturday, there will be no videos at all on Saturday, because on Saturday, I'm actually finally celebrating my graduation. My graduation commencement is actually happening tomorrow. I recently graduated college for my bachelor's degree, so there will be no My Hero Academia episode, I believe 17 review. So there won't be no episode 17. There will be no One Piece. And I think those are really the only videos that I upload on Saturday. So there will be none of that tomorrow. They will probably more than likely go up Sunday, because I'm gonna be spending my time celebrating my graduation. So but then I'm having a graduation party. So I literally have no time to record either or those videos. Maybe with One Piece I'll get away with it, but probably not. So for Saturday, do not expect no videos. Hey, listen, there was like 3 days straight, with the exception of Monday because it was a pre-recorded video, that there was no videos essentially this entire week. But hey, that's kind of it. So everybody's got personal lives, but hey, again, if you want to leave down your congratulations, my graduation, for me graduating, thank you. Means a lot to me. So yeah, but this is just one step in my life to where I want to go with my life. Other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Till then, guys, I'll see you guys Sunday for the next videos. Other than that, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.